And hello, it's Travis and Mary Sue again. Good to see everyone. Thanks for joining us again for our vlog. And today I want to talk a little bit about something that I've been going through. Of course, going through Hashimoto's, Thyroiditis, and EOE. One of the things, a couple of weeks ago, they changed my supplements that I was on. When I had my scope done, and they're trying to clean everything out to rule out what's causing these flare-ups that I'm having. And prior to this, I was on a series of supplements, things like vitamin D and selenium and vitamin B complex and B12 and krill oil and a laundry list of things. It was a bunch, a couple of different times a day. And all of these things were based on blood work that the integrative doctor, medical doctor that I'd seen was going with to treat me for various things. The blood work showed up inflammations, intolerances, allergies, things like that, and plus trying to reverse the thyroid condition that I have. So these things were things that were benefiting me, but they were also causing me to kind of have some distress with this EOE. So when I had my scope done for the EOE and they changed me up on the treatment plan for that, they said take all that stuff off your daily list. Don't take any more of those. I said, well, I've got to take some of these things, right? So she said, okay, take the vitamin D, which is a vitamin D-AK combination, and then take the selenium also, because that's really good for the thyroid. So we're trying to scale that down just the basics to try to rule out what's causing me to have these EOE flare-ups. And that's all great. That's all good. It's like you have two things that are sort of competing with each other for my attention. My body is wanting to be treated one way for one condition, and those things sometimes cause the other thing to flare up. So long story short, I did this for about 2 weeks, and I noticed last week I just started feeling down. Just started to crash hard. And it was about a week ago on a Friday. I just came home and I'm just like, I'm done. I can't do much else. And we went to our niece who's graduating from nursing school. So proud of her. Way to go, Paige. Went to her beginning ceremony for that, and you just kind of put a smile on your face and you go through it. The next day, Saturday, same thing, not feeling well. Sunday, we go to church, and I come home, and I'm just dog tired. And I went and took a nap for like 3 hours. And as Mary Sue will tell you, I don't nap. Never ever. I don't sleep well anyway. Never have slept well for various reasons. Try to get 7+ hours of sleep a night, and doesn't always work out that way. But this time, I just crashed hard. Got 3 hours of sleep, so that put me like close to 10 hours of sleep a day. Still just dog tired. Woke up, was up for about a couple of hours, and went right back to sleep at bedtime. And normally, if I take a nap during the day, I can't sleep that night. I'm wired up. I've got my sleep. So something was happening to me. The next day, Monday, went to work, had this long presentation that I had to sit through, and by the time it was over at noon, I was like, okay, I can't even do this. Unfortunately, with my job, I could have a little flex time built into it. I again came home from work and went to bed, took another 3-hour nap, and just depression going along with this. So my guess is that what's happened is all the supplements are getting out of my system that were showing some benefits, and changing the diet, going back to the keto style and things, and my body was adjusting on this. I think I had a massive thyroid flare. Everything that I've been able to read on this seems like that's what has happened. Just the lethargy, the brain fog that was going through it, and just pretty significant depression. Didn't really want to be around people. I just wanted to be alone. Just feeling really down. You feel like you're beat up inside, and that's normally not how I am. Pretty optimistic, sarcastically optimistic person, and I just feel really bad for Mary Sue when I go through times like that, because she's got to pick up the pieces sometimes. I'm like, I'm sorry you've got to go through this. I'm sorry I'm not the happy, bubbly husband that you're signed on for 30 years ago. So I'll talk to her a little bit about what's going through, but just to let you know that if you have thyroid condition, Hashimoto's, these are not unusual occurrences. You can have these mood swings that go along with this, and it really is, it's kind of beyond your control. Your body is just going haywire. Your thyroid's producing antibodies and I don't know all the sciencey stuff that goes along with it. It's just having a flare, and when you do, like I said, I have brain fog, lethargy, and just depression goes along with it, anxiety, guilt, all these things, and it's been happening off and on through the years. I've often been wondering what's going on with this. Come to see the doctor about it. They're like, "Oh, you need to be put on this medication. You need to be on that medication." I said, "I don't want to be on medication. There's got to be something that's going on with this." And they would come and go. And now we're sort of figuring out, because of the treatment that I've gone through, that it's probably my thyroid that's been causing all this all the time. So, what have you to say about this?
Well, I think sometimes, look at those little cows in the back of this trailer. I think sometimes it's diet related too. Hold on, I'm trying to turn.
Safety first while you're driving. If you're shooting a video while you're driving, safety first.
I think sometimes it's diet related, because when he starts feeling bad, he starts looking for things that are not keto or not EOE. Well, they are EOE friendly, but they're not keto friendly. So he starts looking for Coca-Cola and sweets and things.
Sponsored by product placement.
He starts getting off of his diet, and I think that goes along with it too. When you don't feel good, you want to have comfort foods, but a lot of times those comfort foods cause a lot of problems, and I think that's a lot of why you don't feel good too, is because I think it kicks your sugar levels higher than what you're used to having, and then it makes you crash.
It's cyclical. I'll go along with that, because I'll be going along good for a while. Like I said, I lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks doing the keto, and then the depression hit, and just the energy went away. Like I said, I'm staying in bed all the time, don't even want to face the world. And what do you do when you're feeling bad? I've got to kickstart something. And my bad habit that I've had through the years, I used to work in the newspaper industry a long time ago, and it was a weekly newspaper. We would it's called putting the paper to bed, when you're laying out the paper at night. And we're up at 2 and 3 in the morning on deadline night, on layout night, and we would walk to this little convenience store right across the street from the newspaper office, and we would get a thing of Jolt Cola, or which is twice the caffeine and twice the sugar. And yes, you're wired. It was the first of the energy drinks. It didn't have anything healthy in it whatsoever, but it was wonderful. You get a bag of M&Ms. I used to joke that when I was stressed, I would get, like when you have those horse muzzle bags, you drop the oats in there and hook it on the horse's head, and you just like sit there and munch off the feed bag. If I could have done that with M&Ms when I was in those stressful moments, I would have done it. So yeah, you're right. I've developed some bad habits. I've tried to control that, with going with keto. Like I said, I was doing that. I lost 10 pounds in 2 weeks with this, but then it hit, and she's right, after the sleep and everything, and I started pulling myself out of it. I wanted that energy back, and what do? You go back to what you know. You start grabbing some carbs and soft drinks. And I do the caffeine free a lot of times. Something else that I like to drink is fun. It's a sparkling ice drinks. I don't know if you can see that there. And they have different flavors. Mary Sue doesn't like those all that much. The cherry limeade's pretty good. The lemon lime's pretty good. I haven't tried a lot of the other flavors. She just thinks they taste like demon spit or something like that.
Do not like them.
Doesn't like them at all. So one of the things I'm trying to do is to develop healthier ways to combat this. If you're tired, sleep. I mean, that's the number one thing that you can do. Your body is telling you need to do something. The psychological side, though, says you can't stay in bed forever. You can't. You will just continue to feed depression if you just stay in bed. If you lock yourself away, if you keep the curtains drawn, you take your phone off the hook or turn the ringer off, and you just sit in the dark. That is a different type of depression, and you need to not do that. You need it'll feed itself. Again, with this one, I think it was a thyroid flare, and it lasted about 4 or 5 days, actually. I'm just now starting to come out of it. She could tell I was coming out of it the other day, because I was actually making jokes again. She says, "You're in a mood." And she missed that. I
He starts getting a little sassy.
Sass is my middle name sometimes when I'm like that. But what I like to do, though, is to find alternative ways to cope with this and pull yourself out of depression. And besides sleep, try to find something that you like to do and let yourself do it. I mean, that's one of the things that I've had to learn to do, because I'm one of these workaholic types, a type A personality. I have a lot of responsibility at work. I'm in management. and you're never off the clock. You're always doing something for work, or you're thinking of something else that you need to do. Like when I come home, I tell her there's always something to do around the house. I've got to change this light bulb. A knob fell off the drawer the other day. And it's something, you spend 20-30 minutes on trying to fix this knob on the drawer because it needs to be glued on a certain way and take it apart and do this. So you just never get that downtime. So what I've been trying to do is force myself to have some downtime, and I feel guilty. I have to ask her permission. She's like, "Do I ask my permission? Just go do what you want to do." It's like, what do you like to do to relax?
I'm doing it now. We're going fishing.
Going fishing right now. Absolutely. There's a lake here not too far from where we live. We've got the worms. We actually, this is the kind of perfect husband that I am. What did I get you for Christmas last year?
Got me a worm farm.
A worm farm.
I'm so excited. My son's excited. He got a worm farm too.
Yeah, our son who's in college, he leaves his children with us, what he calls his worms. You can take care of my children while I'm gone. So we do. We have a little worm farm that we keep down in the basement, and we take them fishing with us. They probably don't enjoy it nearly as much as we do. But anyway, so we're going to do that. The vehicle's loaded up here. We're hopefully going to catch just something. It's catch and release. But some of the other things we like to do, work in the garden. We went out to Lowe's yesterday, went to Walmart yesterday, got some plants. So when the weather gets a little bit nicer, today it's nice. It rained yesterday, and so the ground is really soggy, so we're not going to put them out. But we'll show some pictures of those when we get those planted. It's really like that kind of therapeutic, playing in the dirt, and that's something else that I've been reading up on, studying. There's something called earthing, which is, the earth has this magnetic field that it puts out, and it's a healing thing. If you look at the trees and the grass and everything, and the earth will heal itself. You put blacktop or concrete down, what happens? Earth and the world will find a way to survive. Sounds like Jeff Goldblum off of Jurassic Park. Nature will find a way to survive. So playing in the dirt is a good thing, and like walking barefoot in the grass, or just sitting outside next to a tree. I think there's like an old Indian proverb: if you're stressed, go sit for 2 hours at the base of a tree. And there's something about that that's supposed to be therapeutic. So I've been working on that, and like I said, working in the ground. I used to like to garden when we were on a farm. We're not on the farm anymore, but still like to play in the dirt with the gardening, or with the flowers. Something else we like to do is go yard selling, and it's not really the
Nice junking.
Junking is awesome, and we may share some of our treasures with you. Matter of fact, one thing that I surprised Mary Sue with for Easter, and I'll show a video of this, maybe while I'm talking, I'll just superimpose the video over it. But do you remember back in the 60s and 70s, some of you with a little age to you maybe, or maybe your grandmother had one of these, is these oil rain lamps. And these were really cool. I had never seen one. Mary Sue had an aunt that had one, and she was just fascinated by it while she was growing up. And what's the oil lamp here? What's it like?
You had this lady in the middle, and it looks like water streaming down, dripping down these little fishing line. It's hard to describe, but it was so groovy, and I wanted one so bad. We never got one.
Right. It's like, if you see this, you'll think you've got to go get some kind of a wagon wheel table to go with it, and some shag carpet. Anyway, we'll show the video of it, but I've restored this for her. It was the person who had it before had not taken good care of it, sold it for like $10 at a yard sale, and they put motor oil in it, and it had gunked up pretty bad. So I had to take it completely apart, cleaned it up for her, surprised her with it. Got on Amazon, bought a color-changing LED bulb, so we can have like blue and red and purple, all the like 120 different colors that'll go on with. So we turn it off at night now. We turn the lights off, and we turn the rain lamp on with the lights on. It's pretty cool.
It's groovy.
It's pretty therapeutic. One other thing that I've done, we bought this house that we're in about 6 years ago, and the fellow who was in it before us had these speakers out on his deck, and when he moved out, he took the stereo with him. I couldn't find a stereo with him, so we've been looking. It's one of those where you got like the wires that kind of crimps into the back of the stereo and pipes it out that way, and they don't have a lot of those anymore, especially because I don't want to spend a lot of money on them. It's cheap. I have a son in college. We don't spend a lot of money on frivolous things right now. But at the yard sale about 2 weeks ago, the lady had one for $5. I'm like, okay, does it work? She goes, yeah, it's got CDs on it. It's got an input for auxiliary. I said, so I tried it and hooked it up, and it did work. And now I figured out that I can hook Alexa into it. And Alexa has a headphone speaker, or has a speaker jack. you can plug that into this. So now I can tell Alexa to turn this on. It'll turn it on. I'm on my back deck and my stereo's playing. Now you're asking, why not just use current technology, use a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth speaker system or something like that? And the answer is because where's the fun in that? I mean, this thing was designed to do it a certain way. It's kind of nostalgic, it's kind of geeky, but it brings me joy. And again, when you're getting over something that kind of depresses you, this thyroid thing, you got to treat yourself.
$5.
Yeah, treat yourself to $5. Go ahead and buy a little boom box that'll work this. And in my case, I like to put on old jazz, put some Benny Goodman on, or some Camp Basie or something, and put that on and sit out there, grab a book, and just enjoy life. Watch the squirrels play, watch the deer run through and eat my hosta. A tip for keeping deer out of your hosta, we've learned, is to take Irish Spring, shred it like on a cheese shredder, a cheese grater, soap, Irish Spring soap, and then sprinkle that in your garden, and that will keep the deer away. So, real cheap way to keep the deer out, and it's non-toxic. It's just gonna melt away when it rains, so you have to put it back on every time it rains. So, that's what we're doing today. We may show you some pictures of fish or something later if we're lucky enough to buy any, or to buy any, to catch any. Sometimes you have to buy them, all right? All right, so there we go. Again, just hang in there if you've got Hashimoto's or some other autoimmune thing, and you go through these spells where your emotions kind of get the best of you, and you're kind of depressed or tired. Take care of yourself. No one else is going to take care of you. You have to stand up for yourself and take care of yourself and treat yourself to things every once in a while. That's going to bring you a little bit of joy, because life is too short to not enjoy it. We'll check in later. Thanks for watching today. Okay, so we didn't catch any fish, but we did get to see some baby geese. So we thought we would share that with you. And that's always a good day and a stress reliever also.